Hello, friends. Happy Easter. My name is Linda Schiller Hanna. Welcome to Inner Kid Keto, segment 87. Today is April 20th, 2025, Easter Sunday. I have committed to doing a new message every day for a year, and here we are. Because I am clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, because I hear spirit, and have made the promise to follow spirit without question. Each day I'm given a message of what to talk about. If this is not your jam, if this is not something you're interested in, feel free to move along. But today's message is related to the Easter story. Now, if you want to go back into my channel to segment 28, Inner Kid Keto number 28, they're all numbered. I share how I went from being an atheist to a believer because I found a Bible in the road. I had been raised with a spiritual life, with a Christian belief, but I had fallen away for a number of years. And number 28 tells how I got back. So this is a whole new chapter, and basically how I found my church. I grew up Baptist, Methodist, Dad was Catholic. I tried a lot of different things over the years. I spent many years in Unity, religious science, even Christian science. I was involved with a Jewish man for a while. I was married to a Muslim. It's not like I'm narrow-minded on spirit. Absolutely, probably the opposite. But I do want to talk about today's message. When I was in junior high and high school, I went to Methodist Youth Fellowship. And that's when I began to really read the Bible in earnest. And I was particularly fascinated with the Beatitudes. And I'm going to read them for you. I'm actually reading them out of my great-grandmother's Bible, published in the 1940s. It's older than I am. And this is from the Sermon on the Mount by Jesus. And these are the Beatitudes in red letters. It's Matthew 5:3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. 12. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. I may have told you multiple times that I lived in Virginia Beach for many years. And I went to Virginia Beach because it's the headquarters of the Edgar Cayce Foundation, the Association of Research and Enlightenment. If you want to look it up, it's edgarcayce.org, maybe .com. Edgar Cayce is EDGARCAYCE. I believe it's .com. I was there in the early 90s, just when they were beginning to start their intuition development program. And because I had graduated from Heart Song in Berkeley, a 9-month program to develop my intuition psychic abilities, they were interested in what I had to offer, and I was able to become one of the trainers for their programs. And also I was tested to be 80 to 90% accurate on their psychic test thing. And so I became one of the listed psychics for the ARE. Since then, I've done about 40,000 readings. That's how I make my normal living. All that said, I was also associated with the Heritage Store. I did readings at the Heritage Store, which sold Cayce products, still does, because Cayce channeled many holistic recipes that have been found to be remarkable natural products that help heal people. And I was a speaker there and listed with them as well. Anyway, my best friend at the Heritage was a man named Alan Steele. And he worked back in the department where he kind of fielded questions from the public as they came through. And Alan and I had known each other for years, and he was definitely a graduate of my Lightworker Intensive, my psychic development training program. Very intuitive, very caring, very enlightened man. He also worked at the UN. He's a master in dreams, very special. So apparently one day, the woman I'm going to talk about in a moment, her brother went in there and asked Alan, do you know a good psychic who could confirm or validate the value of a manuscript that my sister wrote? And Alan said, sure, Linda Schiller, Hanna. Gave him my number. And this woman called me to set up a reading. And she said, I wrote something, I channeled something, and I want to know, is it what I really think it is? Is this the real thing? And I tuned in and I got, yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. And so she published the book, and I was happy to write this blurb on the back. Matthew, by the way, her name is Keith Davis. She was named after her mother's best friend, a girl named Keith. So she's an unusually interesting woman in that she has a boy's name. That stands out. So here we go. This is what I wrote. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Keith. This is what I heard in my meditation with Jesus when asking to discern the value and importance of this book. Keith Davis came into my life several years ago as a client. Then she took my Lightworker Intensive class. Next, we developed a close friendship. Ultimately, we became co-counselors. Part of me stood back and observed her over time through a myriad of tests to perceive her integrity, honesty, clarity, intelligence, and virtue. She passed them all. Jesus reinforced that I could trust these words as his, sent for us now living. I believe them. I need them. Considering opening a page at random to see if they resonate to you as well. Reverend Linda Schiller, Hanna, www.lightworker22.com, my psychic website. So this is the book under discussion, Spirituality for the Common Man, featuring the new Beatitudes by Keith Davis. And she channeled, there's 114. Yeah, 114 Beatitudes. But she has one for today, for Easter. It is number 14, and I'm going to read it to you. It's brief. Excuse me just a moment. It's on page 21. Be resurrection. because Easter's about resurrection. My nose is itching. Excuse me for scratching, but I'm getting ready for some good stuff. This is what she had to say, what Jesus had to say through her. Be resurrection. Blessed are you to be resurrection and overcome sin, fear, and death. My resurrection demonstrated eternal life and the divine spirit that we all are. Resurrection is also very important because it signifies overcoming false beliefs to be the Christ and your divine purpose now. Further, be allowing of the Christ to be resurrection and be born within you now. Apparent death is resurrection as you rise up and release all that does not serve or become you. So experience a metamorphosis and transformation through release, rebirth, and resilience, becoming and being your higher power now. Your truth and innocence testify to your resurrection and that of your brother, who is God and yourself. So be faith, be resurrection, and dare to be the new Beatitudes yourself. Defy illusion and be raised from a shallow tomb of worldly belief to become and be love now. Beloved, rise from the ashes of the past. Be aligned and be truth. Be born again. Be the light. Be the miracle. And be resurrection by the healing of your mind now. I want you to know you can get the copy of this book on Amazon, $15.95. Pretty good price for an amazing book. Look at that beautiful cover. There's more to my connection with Keith. For all the years I've known her, including when she was still living in a dangerous marriage with her young son, going through some really scary times. We started meeting weekly, every single week. I don't think we've ever missed a week. For about an hour at a time. We pray together, discuss a little bit what's going on in our human life. And I channel for her. I tune into Jesus and give her updates. And it is quite amazing. And for at least the last 3 years, we should do this Thursday afternoon, but for the last 3 years, the week before Easter, Jesus always says the same thing, only with more power and more compassion and more gratitude than ever. You are the first folks to ever hear this story. I have never told this publicly before. I haven't even told my husband. No one knows this. But I was guided to say this today. What Jesus says when we talk to him on Thursdays, and what he said this last Thursday. I think we had to do it Friday. There was a reason we had to do it a day late, because I'd been in the hospital for my heart. He said, Keith, how you were Mary Magdalene. He's always said she was Mary Magdalene. I'm totally sure this is true. They were in love. And she was a master healer too. And he said, because Keith was there in the tomb with him through the 3 days when he was in the tomb after being on the cross, she gave him healing, she gave him energy, She put herbs on him, protected him, took care of him, helped him in that dark night of the soul, helped him become the resurrection. This woman is a holy woman. You may think there are no holy women in this world. I beg to disagree. Keith is one of those amazing, special people. I don't know if we've even told her husband this, her wonderful husband, Bobby, or her son, Alex. But I'm supposed to tell you and everybody, she was there. And every Easter, Jesus thanks her from the bottom of his heart for helping him get through those 3 dark days in the tomb. So this resurrection story is very special. And apparently it's time for it to be told. And it is my honor and privilege to share it. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe her. You don't have to believe the book. But maybe if you have faith, like a grain of mustard seed, you say, well, maybe yes. Edgar Cayce talks many times about past lives. He says everyone drawn to the Cayce material, and there's thousands of us around the world, have shared times together. We've been together in Atlantis. We've been together in a significant time in Egypt, around the pyramids and that stuff. We've been together in the time of Christ and this generation. I know I have a connection to Atlantis. I know I have a connection to Egypt, but I have a very strong connection to the time of Christ. And so does Keith. And Keith and I did a presentation at the ARE one year, and Keith came and held the energy while I did my talk. She was in the room. She's also Cayce. We were both there, and we're back. I'm not sure what my life was in that time of Jesus, but I think I might have been Joseph, the father, but I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. All I know is I was there. So you can say, oh, Linda, you've gone way off the deep end this time. I'm off. Don't like it. Don't have to listen. Don't have to come back. But I encourage you to get this wonderful book, The Spirituality for Common Man, with the modern, updated, new Beatitudes. It is said that a miracle comes with every book. Maybe it's time to claim yours. I have little Linda back here. What she's got, her sign today is all you need is love. In honor of Easter, I've got the doves flying with the flowers. One last quick story. When I was in Mazatlan, years ago, back in the late 80s, I went to a passion play. It was outdoors. It was in a beautiful courtyard beside one of those monasteries. And they had bleachers with thousands of people, and it was all being acted out. And the play was proceeding. It was a beautiful sunny day. We were all sitting there. And the play continues. Every piece of the story, every piece of the story. Finally, they get to a place where the play stops. It is just before Jesus is to make his entrance. I believe it was before he was to make his entrance into the city of Jerusalem for Palm Sunday, or for the Palms, the Good Friday for the Palms. I think they had all the people there. It was pretty dramatic. It was all in Spanish, but you could understand. After all, we knew the story, and I knew enough Spanish to follow. And we waited, and we waited, and we waited. Finally, they announced, Jesus has not arrived yet. The guy who's playing Jesus is not on site yet. And there was a little rumble through the crowd. Can't make this up. A lot of people take the bus in Mexico. A lot of people didn't have cars. And we waited some more. And about 30 or 40 minutes late, in comes Jesus running into the crowd. And the crowd parted and he came in and everyone goes, yay! And the play continued. What that said to me, my takeaway was, what if he had never come? I think God bumps remembering that. What if he never made it? Didn't go through the Friday thing, didn't go through the Sunday resurrection, didn't take that sacrificial trip to teach us that there is an afterlife. The Cayce readings say that when we go home to God, our souls head towards the North Star. That the writing in one of the books, the 2026 New Awakening, said that the top of the pyramids point towards the North Star, and that is the way we journey home to God. Isn't that interesting? Who knew we had a direction? Books give us direction. Channeling gives us direction. Even clearing our bodies of junk food gives us clarity so we can resonate to the truth of things. Maybe something in this story and this message will ring true for you. I am a Reverend Linda Schiller Hanna. Keith is a Reverend. Keith's husband is a Reverend, Bobby. Her son Alex is a Reverend. It's not that being a Reverend is such a great thing, but it means that our souls have made the promise to serve the light. I don't care what label. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Native. You don't have to be a Native American. You don't have to be a Muslim. You don't have to be anything. Just be love. The number one message in Keith's book is be love. I just want you to know I love you, and I thank you for spending this time with me today. And if you want to see Keith's services, first you can see a wonderful interview with her on the Seeking Heaven channel, volume 349. It just came up today for Easter. The Seeking Heaven channel, number 349. And if you want to go to Cayce Online Church, because I go every Sunday, it's on Facebook. It's 11:11 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's live. And if you try to get down there at 11:10, you're going to get last week's message. So I don't even open my computer to go into Facebook until actually 11:11. And then at the bottom, in my search engine, I put Be the Christ Temple, because that's the name of our church. Be the Christ Temple Live, Facebook. And then poof, it takes me in. And her service with Bobby is about 20 minutes. And it's live. And she chit-chats. You can actually text her. You can talk to her on Facebook Live during the service. And you might want to see what they do. And Bobby's the bell ringer, and he's a blast. It's different than most churches you'll ever go to. And it's okay if you go ahead and support them a little bit too. But they never ask for money. They just serve the light. Well, thank you for hanging in there through this very long message today. No matter what, happy Easter. Take it or leave it. I still say Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Keith. That's what I heard with my meditation with Jesus. God bless you. Happy Easter. See you tomorrow.